Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL, and welcome back to another video. Now today, we're going to be talking about Arsenal striker and wonder-class captain, Pierre Emerick Aubameyang. The Gabonese forward is set to have a contract expiration at the end of the 2020-2021 season, so next season, and there's been a lot of talk about his uncertain future, whether he should go to Manchester United, go abroad, or stay at Arsenal. Now, Paul Merson has come out today and said that he wants Aubameyang to stay. However, the Gabonese president has said that he wants Aubameyang to go to a more optimistic club and a more ambitious club. Now let's have a look then at the certain stats and the official reports that have been going on today about Aubameyang's contract situation. Now, according to a Sky Sports News football article, Pierre Emerick Aubameyang, told by Sky Sports pundit Paul Merson, said he should stay, and the pundit reminds Gunners captain of his crucial role at the Emirates and warns the grass isn't always greener as the speculation continues over his future. Merson responded to the Gabonese Football Association advising Aubameyang to leave Arsenal for a club with greater ambition. And it's easy saying move to another, but there's more ambitious club and win stuff, but there are not a lot of trophies to win, especially with the two phenomenal football clubs Liverpool and Manchester City. Paul Merson said he was very fortunate to play for Arsenal for a long time, and make no mistake about it, is a great club. The grass is not always greener on the other side, you've got to be careful. Aubameyang's at an age now where he'll play every week for Arsenal. If he goes to, say, Manchester United for somewhere else, 4 or 5 bad games and you're out of the team. He's going to play every week at Arsenal, and when you're coming towards the end of your career, 2 or 3 years to go, you've got to enjoy your football and play. If Paul Merson was Aubameyang's agent, he said I'd be stressing that he is one of the best clubs in the world, a phenomenal football club that has as much chance as anybody, bar Man City and Liverpool, winning something. From his perspective, he said he would stay. Now, Paul Pogba revealed his injury lengthy problems as well, so I feel like a player like that stature at Manchester United might not stay long if he doesn't prove himself. But could Aubameyang be another world-class player to join Manchester United? Now, I wanted to use that article as an example, really. Now, first of all, I wanted to respond to the Gabonese Football Association president's comments about Aubameyang being urged to leave for a club with greater ambition. In my personal opinion, this is coming from someone who follows Manchester United. I think Arsenal are on the rise. I think Mikel Arteta's got a beautiful looking project coming on with free flow attacking football. I think he's got a real good situation going on at Arsenal. And I do believe that with a couple of signings in the summer, I think that Arsenal could be a side to watch for the top 4 this year. Obviously, we've still got 9 Premier League games to play this season when it restarts, or when it hopefully restarts in June, after the coronavirus pandemic has slowed down and the situation is under control. Now, Arsenal currently are still in a race for the Champions League. Now, don't forget, Manchester City are banned from European competition for 2 years. This means that 5th place gets Champions League. So currently teams like Tottenham, Man United, Wolves, Arsenal, Sheffield United, they're in the mix to join Leicester, Chelsea and Liverpool, who are all but confirmed champions of the league, in the Champions League. And then of course 6th, 7th and I think 8th place from the maths will be in the Europa League. Now, you've really got to think here as to if Arsenal get into the Champions League, does that mean that gives more reason for Aubameyang to stay? I think if the club performs and keeps performing and other teams around them like United and Spurs and Sheffield United and Wolves drop points, there's a real possibility here that Arsenal could get into the Champions League spots. In terms of Pierre Emerick Aubameyang's future, however, there is only one option for me, and this is coming from a Manchester United follower. I think he should stay at Arsenal because it is still an ambitious club with a lot of stake in the future. I think that Arsenal will be on the rise, and I think Arsenal will be back into the trophy hunt very, very soon. If not, imminently next season, in my opinion. I think Arsenal should be one of the front runners for the things like the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. If they do get back into the Champions League, I believe they could be a real contender for the knockout stage of the Champions League. I'm not going to say whereabouts, but I do believe they are going to be real contenders for that knockout stage. But of course, like we said, it all depends on the group they get if they get into the Champions League. If they get 2 or 3 teams that are massive teams, then it will be considerably harder if they've got 2 or 3 smaller teams in the group with them, or maybe another big team and 2 smaller teams, or 2 big teams and a small team to battle it out with for those 2 places into the knockout stages. But I think Arsenal are more than capable to reach the knockout stage of the Champions League with a couple of signings and a strong finish for the end of this season. There's no reason why Arsenal can't finish in the knockout stages, at least in the Champions League. If they're not in the Champions League and they're in the Europa League, I still believe Arsenal will keep Aubameyang. I still believe he'll stay. I think he's got a great future at Arsenal, even though he's, getting on in terms of age. I think he's got a good future before he retires at Arsenal. I think that he'll be a great striker, a great asset. And I've seen many Arsenal fans' fan cams over the last few years, and I feel like Arsenal is a continuing cycle. When the defence was poor, the strikers sort of stepped up. Then when the strikers sort of retired and got to their late stages and sold on, etc., the defence improved. And it feels like a never-ending cycle. But under the Arteta era, I think they've got a good, strong strike force now, an attacking force with the younger players at the likes of Pepe, Nelson, Saka, who could also play in defence. They've still got Ozil, they've still got Lacazette and Aubameyang, and I believe they'll get plenty more attacking options in the future. But the defence has been a big problem for me for Arsenal, but they are starting to improve it. And I do believe that Arsenal are going to break that cycle, and I think Arsenal are going to get back onto winning ways. You've got to look at Mikel Arteta as a manager. Yes, he might not have considerable experience in the number 1 job, but he's been Pep Guardiola's number 2 for considerable amount of years at Manchester City, who have been serial trophy winners, serial title winners. And I think that taking that Manchester City title winning experience and what Pep's taught Mikel Arteta, considering Arteta is a former Arsenal player as well, not only does he have that title-winning mentality, but he also has the experience from Pep Guardiola, as well as his own experience learning about the club as a player, and now he learns from it as a manager. He's been given considerable experience away from Arsenal on the pitch and off the pitch, and now he's come back to the Arsenal as a manager to give the Arsenal fans a considerable boost for the future. And I don't think that's something Aubameyang will miss out on. I think that's something Aubameyang will thrive on. Something like Ozil, Pepe, Lacazette, Leno, all these players, Saka, they'll all thrive on the considerable boost of the future under the management style of Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. I don't think Aubameyang should miss out on that. Also, taking apart that statement from Paul Merson, you've got to think he is right. He's not going to get a good considerable amount of game time at a team like Manchester United, Juventus, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Yes, he's a world-class player, but you've got to think of the players in that team. They're going to keep dropping and changing like a Claudio Ranieri Chelsea Tinkerman swap change. He's not going to get considerable amount of game time. You've got to think like that. So, at Arsenal, he's a world-class player already. He fits straight into the first team nearly every week. There is the odd cup games against the lower league teams where they may play the kids, or they may play rotational players and give them a run out. The backup players give them a run out in the squad. But most of the time, for the big games, for the Premier League games and for the European competitions, he is their main first team player. He's playing in a formation where he plays pretty much every week. So I think there's no question here, Aubameyang needs to stay at Arsenal. And Aubameyang's already expressed his love for Arsenal, so there's no reason at all why he should move from Arsenal Football Club. But thank you guys so much for watching this news update, this transfer news update, talking about the future of Pierre Emerick Aubameyang. I am the CHALL. Please like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.